Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Life's a ride, so let's make it count. Cherish every moment, that's what it's about. Tune in together, we're building our groove. Every beat, every laugh, we're ready to move. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave the troubles behind. This podcast is gold, the treasure you'll find. With every word, we'll light up your day. Join the conversation, let's laugh all the way. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave your troubles behind. This podcast is gold, a treasure you'll find.
Hey, and welcome back. Great to see you all today. Thank you for joining us here at the cafe. I hope you're all having a great Monday morning, and I hope you all had an amazing weekend. For those of you I didn't see over the weekend, happy belated Father's Day to any of you awesome dads out there if I didn't see you. And happy Monday to all the rest of you. Welcome back, guys. Please make sure to hit the like button as you come through that door, if you will. And please make sure to share this out. Still very much appreciated. Come on in, grab a seat, if you will. Come on down, guys. We got the typical rounds to make. We're going to check in what's going on in the world today. A little bit of Idaho, something new and interesting, slightly. Of course, we're going to check in on Jack&Lilly Sullivan situation, see what we can find from there, and whatever else we come up with today. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you to the Blue Crew peeps that are in the house. I appreciate you very much, as always. If you will, please and thank you. Let me see here. Show. Are you done? Jesus. My phone has been blowing up all morning. And I mean all morning. I turned all these notification sounds off for a reason. And as soon as I turn them back on, right back at it. I'm so tired of it. And again, thank you all for joining me. My youngest child started his first job ever today. And I'm getting messages about that. I'm a little worried about him because he's never been in the work, like the real work world before. And he's like, he went from nothing or like 0 to 60 like that, nothing to a lot right away. So very much extreme. So I was a little worried about him. I'm a little sideways today about that, guys. So don't mind me if I act a little weird. Let's see who we got in here. CZ's in the house. Feminem, welcome back. True Crime X, great to see ya. Katie Batts, welcome back to you. Alicia J, hey, great to see you. Lil Allison Lee, welcome back to you. Angel D from Down Under, welcome back to you. Mr. Jeffrey, good to see you today. And if you're a father, happy belated Father's Day. Marty Fodra, welcome back to you. Great to see you today. Mayflowers, great to see you. Welcome back. The sassy one, Miss Cassie's here. Good to see you, Miss Cassie. Yeah. Teresa, welcome back to you. Great to see you as well. SR, B. Welcome to you. And we'll see you when you come back as well. Let me see here. Show. Translucent made a statement in there. Well, maybe if you didn't pretend to be other people, and I wasn't a dunderhead, then it wouldn't have happened. So my apologies, my mistakes, because that account seems to like to be multiple accounts, come to find out. So I made a boo-boo. I made a mistake. Mama Bear's in the chat too. Good to see you, Mama Bear. Thank you for joining us. So I'm now. Thank you, CZ. I did. And then I spent the last part of it in here with all you awesome peeps. It is what it is. Miss Lucy, welcome. No, they know what they did. They're just running multiple accounts, going different channels. That's all. Miss Teresa, great to see you. Yeah, True Crime X. I'm gonna be looking into all of that with my team. We're gonna give it a hefty home team hoorah. We're gonna go through it today after I get out of here, and I will, guys, if it's what it is, then you will be hearing from me. That's a fact. That's the other side. Miss Alicia's right. Not only that, but they didn't own the video, guys, and that's something I didn't know until after the fact. So, and you can't do that if you're gonna do that like I did. You know, I'm you showing somebody's work and putting it out there that they did all the work on it, but they didn't. That's not cool. Tell the whole thing about it. I try to tell whenever I use something, I show everybody's name and their stuff and all that. I didn't know, so I felt bad about that too. Truly. All hail Queen Fitzgerald. Hey, Miss Christina. Hello and welcome back. I make mistakes, folks. I'm not perfect. But I'm learning as we go. My team makes sure of it. They whoop me when I'm not out here, beat me down, step on my throat, all that fun stuff. Just kidding. They treat me amazing. So, but they keep me on the straight and narrow too. Understand that. Wade's in the house. Welcome back, sir. Go right to see ya. Yes. No. That was a joke. That was okay. That wacky pull. That was just Mama Bear being funny. They do that kind of stuff to me too. Yes. But I like it. That's the relationship we all have. We have a lot of fun together when we can. And but they are not afraid to call me out if I've made mistakes and stuff like that, which is what I want, So no worries. No worries at all, my friend. We are going to be delving into that after the show today and breaking it all down and digging everything out that we need to on it. And like I said, if I can, square everything up with it, true crime, it will be presented. I promise that much. And I really appreciate the insight, the information. I truly do, more than you know. So thank you. Now relax, calm down, calm yourself down, and chill if you can. Miss Debbie Ann, welcome. Good to see you. So yeah, guys, the video I showed yesterday, and I didn't know this till after the fact. Officer Axon is the actual channel that it came from. Lana put it out after the fact and showed it, and we had talked about it, the mods and I, after the fact. And you can't claim something to be totally yours if you worked on it, that's fine, but make sure you put the whole thing out there, That's the best way to do it. That's the way you're supposed to do that, guys. And you don't go in under different names and attack other people's team, the mods and stuff like that. And I completely, because I'm ADHD, lets things slip my mind when I'm working on other things and I don't think about this and that sometimes. So yeah, we don't do that here. It is very misleading, Teresa. Thank you. That's the best way to put it, actually. So I learn lessons sometimes the hard way. But I trust in my team too. That's the whole thing. If they're telling me, hey, by the way, you did this or this, and you probably shouldn't have, then that's what I go by. I trust in everything they tell me. They're good people, they're smart people, and they care about the channel, myself, and the rest of you. So that's the important side to that. And they see, this is why. And I won't forget that because I wrote that down too. But that don't do those things, If you don't do those things, then you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Because otherwise, I am going to say, hey, you did a good job on something, so on and so forth. Not thinking because I'm in a hurry to hurry up and do this show, and I do forget a lot of things. The scar on my head is not a joke. I have bad short-term memory issues, so on and so forth. But it is what it is. Live and learn, folks. That's all I can do. So come on in, grab a seat. Get comfortable, grab your drink, coffee, tea, whatever it may be. Let's do this and have a conversation with me. Good morning, Miss Lucy Heather. Miss Heather Lucy. Matt Emlo 12. What's up, bro? Good to see you. I had a little bit. I did have a little bit of venison. My buddy dropped off some deer flanks, as we call them. They were like backstrap stuff, and we grilled it. My kids grilled it for me, actually. It was so good. So good. So tender. So amazing. And it was awesome. And thank you, bro. Appreciate that very much. And I did have a great Father's Day. Like I said, I got to spend most of it with my kids, my family, and the rest of it with you guys, which is amazing too. Miss Brandy B, the OG's in the house. Good to see you, sis. Hope you're doing good. Thank you, Katie. I do try, guys, but I ain't perfect. I do make mistakes. Again, ADHD is a real thing, and it really does cause my chaos in my mind sometimes. So, not an excuse. It's truth. Mm. All right, Miss Angel. Well, if you do, make sure you're in a place you're comfortable. Debbie Ann, great to see you. But yeah, I don't care what name you use. I'm gonna say this one more time too. You can come in under different names or whatever you're gonna do, but don't disrespect the team here, guys. Don't do it, or the crew, because it won't be put up with. Don't ever do that. I may forget things, and I may let do this or do that, but it's I'm not gonna be the only one that sees it, and I may forget, but somebody else won't. So don't do that. Especially when you're extra stressed. Yes, that's very true, Miss Angel. It does kick it into high gear for sure. Um, I am me. Hello and welcome. So you may get something past me at one point, but guess what? It ain't gonna get past them. That's a damn fact. They're very quick and very good. Excuse me. Nobody of any importance. I am me. No worries. Okay. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat, if you will. And Stitches is in the house. Good to see ya. I see what you're saying. 52 peeps, 27 likes. Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, I got something a little bit of not much, but we're gonna review a couple things with the Idaho situation. I found somebody that found to be very interesting that needs to have their stuff put out because we don't see it, and you guys should enjoy it too. There's also another video Mikey sent me that we're gonna review as well. On that, we're gonna check into Jack&Lilly, like I said, and see what's going on, if anything, which is probably not. I checked the RCMP website today, and there's nothing really new. I'm working on it, Teresa. I'm working on it. Truly, I am. Thank you to the person that left me the message. If that was you, thank you very much, Miss Teresa. We got working on that right away this morning when I saw that message finally. And yes, 100%. Yes, Miss Swamp Rose, if you're in here, you're very much loved and welcomed in here, just so you know, dear. You already know that, but that was okay, Teresa. Good. Good to know. We now know that. That's good. We were wondering, so we went digging and did what we needed to do. So thank you for that. I appreciate that very much, as you guys will see here shortly. It's very interesting. To say the least, I'll just put this out there real quick. Brian Koberger, Miss Tandy's in the house. Hello. Good to see you, Miss Tandy. Brian, we've seen so much negative attention brought on to Brian through the IDAHO4 case, right? We've seen people talk about him and all sorts of negative ways. How many times have you guys seen anybody make a positive statement about Brian in the past 2.5 years? If you have, somebody please let me know. I've said it before. Brian doesn't have any friends out there that are standing up and saying, hey, he didn't do this. He's a good guy. Things like that. We don't get that ever. They don't, and mainstream media would never put that out anyway. We know that. So we found something, thanks to Miss Teresa, that I thought was quite interesting, and you guys might enjoy it because I thought it was like, wow, this is interesting as hell. So we're going to be looking at that today for sure. Oh, cool, Katie. I'll have to go check it out. Yeah, Willie's the only one. What's up, Kane B? That is true. That is true. That is true. All right, guys, let me see. Yes. What up? What up? All right, guys, let's start off with what's going on with Michelle. Her video on Jack&Lilly. That's what I usually start the day off with here when we do this. We're going to split it up a little bit. I'm going to run what I usually run on the morning show, just a few things typically, and then we're going to jump into what's going on in Idaho from there. So let's check it out.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Monday morning, the 16th of June. It's a few days since I took this channel to Canada and the case of missing 6-year-old Lily and her 4-year-old brother, Jack Sullivan, who have been missing now since the 2nd of May. They were reported missing just before 10 a.m. on that day by their mother, Malia Brooks Murray. You'll know the details if you've been following this case from the beginning. The day after, May the 3rd, Malia did an interview to the media. Shortly thereafter, later that very same day, she left. She left with her mother and her baby, the baby that she shared with Lily and Jack's stepfather, Daniel Martel. Daniel is now not allowed to see his baby. In a recent interview, he used the word kids in the plural, so I assume he's not allowed to see his other 2 biological children either. He has a son and a daughter from a previous relationship. So Daniel is there in the trailer that he shared with Malia and Lily Jack, baby. Busy trailer. He's now there on his own. Now, his mother lives in the RV stroke, whatever that thing is, on the same property. So he's not totally alone, but it's a weird situation. I don't think I've ever seen a situation where the day after your children go missing, the biological mother leaves. It's so bizarre. She's just not speaking. She's lawyered up. It seems that her mother is in control of things. What's gone on there, I've no idea. I don't blame people for thinking that this is some kind of setup, but my thoughts have always been that if Malia wanted to leave Daniel and take the kids with her, she would just leave. Because Lily and Jack are not Daniel's kids. She'd just leave. She'd just get someone to pick her up and she'd just go. She wouldn't need to engineer a situation to have her children disappear, would she? Now, there was a rumour going around yesterday that Lily and Jack have been found deceased. That's not true. At least there's nothing at all whatsoever in the media to indicate that that's true. So I don't know where that rumour started, but it's not true. In the interest of keeping Lily and Jack's names out there, let's contemplate the possibility that this is now a criminal investigation.
If this is not a criminal investigation now, I'd be totally surprised.
Those were the words of Jim Hoskins, a retired Halifax regional police officer. So he used to work in Nova Scotia and a former major crimes staff sergeant. Not working on the case, but he says the actions from the RCMP and the other police agencies involved in Lily and Jack's disappearance have led him to the conclusion that this is now a criminal investigation. Now, we've heard that the Major Crimes Unit and a bunch of different agencies within the RCMP are looking at this case. The Truth Unit is involved. There's been polygraphs issued. We don't know the results of those polygraphs. Daniel has intimated that he passed, but we don't know the results of any of those polygraphs. But the Major Crimes Unit have been involved since May.
Guys, drop Kane's link in here if we could, for Miss Debbie, so she can find his channel as well. Please and thank you. Kane B's The Purge channel.
The third, but apparently that is standard practice in missing children's investigations in Canada. So there's nothing unusual about it. But I think this Jim Hoskins guy is right. I think they are considering this a criminal investigation. I do. 8 square kilometres have been searched. Now, look, it's heavily wooded in some areas. So I understand that people get missed. 2 little kids could easily get missed. Do I think it's criminal? I think the investigation is assuming that it is, but whether the case is actually factually criminal, I don't know. I've said from the outset that this case is unusual, really unusual. It concerns me that there was no scent at all found by the dogs other than on the driveway. That really concerns me. That's the thing I think that concerns me the most. Why, if Lily and Jack wandered off into the woods, given that the dogs were on the ground within 24 hours, why is there no scent? That's the thing that gets me. It really is. Is there a reason for it? Jim, possibly. Hoskins, if Lily and Jack didn't wander off to the back or to the sides into the woods and they went the front way and walked down the road and then went into the woods, a dog could possibly lose the scent of the road. I've said many, many times, when a surface change from natural to artificial, dogs tend to lose the scent. So it could be that. But I don't know, guys. I've had a bad feeling about this from the beginning. Jim Hoskins says they're looking at this with some criminal aspects as well. They just haven't said so. In my personal experience, if this is not a criminal investigation now, I'd be totally surprised. And then we know from last Wednesday, there was an update by the RCMP. They said finding out what happened to Lily and Jack may take longer than they had hoped. Police revealed that several national agencies, including the National Centre for Missing Persons and Canadian Centre for Child Protection, have joined the investigation. We're assessing, evaluating and analysing a significant volume of information from a variety of sources, said Corporal Sandy Matheru, investigation lead, Northeast Nova RCMP Major Crimes Unit. We have a very coordinated and deliberate approach to make certain all information is meticulously scrutinised, prioritised and actions to ensure nothing is missed. Police also revealed they've conducted interviews with 54 people and administered polygraph tests to some of the individuals. Daniel previously told Global News he had offered to take a polygraph and that it had been administered. If they give him polygraphs, then they want to see if people's statements are truthful as far as they can interpret it from a polygraph. But to me, it's a criminal investigation. That's how I interpret this right now, Hoskins said.
They'll go on the balance of probabilities based on the area that we fully searched with a lot of people. We can't find any evidence, be it a backpack, a shoe, or whatever. We can't find the kids. If you can't find them, that somebody has to say enough is enough right now for searching those areas. So now we move to where? There's only one other option. A nefarious take to this. In other words, a criminal type thing. That's only my personal opinion.
Tom Moriello, a forensic consultant and lecturer at the University of Maryland's Criminology Department, says it's important to understand how a polygraph test works and why it might be used. I need you to understand that the polygraph is not a lie detector. It doesn't detect lies. It simply detects when a person responds with their sympathetic nervous system to relevant questions. It points out that police departments will use polygraphs as an investigative tool, but it isn't a foolproof way to find who's guilty.
If somebody is successful in the test, then not that they're being eliminated, but they'll spend more time on people that are not successful. Not passing the test doesn't mean you're guilty or you're involved. It simply means that there's some issue there, maybe some knowledge, guilty knowledge.
Or it could be that you're feeling guilty, like in the case of Michael Vaughn from Fruitland, Idaho. His dad, Tyler, failed polygraph. He felt so guilty because Michael disappeared on his watch. Michael got out of the house on his watch. Tyler was busy changing the baby's diaper, and Michael walked out of the house, and he was only gone a few minutes before Tyler realised. But unfortunately, by that time, he'd been abducted by monsters in the neighbourhood, and he's believed dead. Body never been found. 4 suspects in that case. So it can happen in the blink of an eye in a quiet suburban neighbourhood. Has it happened in this case? Potentially it has, but given the rural nature of this location, I think it's maybe not very likely that they've just been picked up by a random stranger, but it's absolutely possible. And I've said previously that I think the RCMP dropped the ball by not asking the public sooner for dashcam footage and trail cam footage. They should have asked that from the outset, but it took them to the end of May to do that. He adds that the police have a suspect. They may also use a polygraph test as a psychological tool to draw out a confession. I've done about 1,200 polygraph tests where I was an examiner for the federal government back here in the United States. And there were times before I even put the attachments on the person admitted things. He said, oh dear, that's Chris Watts. So you create this psychological environment for them to be truthful and honest, and sometimes it works. As a police officer who has taken part in similar investigations in the past, including searches for children, Hoskins says he knows that there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work going on right now. They're not sitting around in a nice, cool, air-conditioned boardroom all day talking about this and strategizing. They're out there.
They're out there. And the only way they're going to see or get results in this is to be out there talking to people, looking at videos, looking at topography and what have you, and so on. They're not in offices doing this by a laptop. Let's put it that way.
RCMP have said searches of the property where children went missing have included every aspect of the home, grounds, outbuildings, nearby septic systems, wells, mine shafts, and culverts. Hoskins says investigations will be going on the balance of probabilities.
Welcome, Kent.
And consider the fact that multiple searches of the heavily wooded areas around the home have not turned up any evidence.
More than 160 search and rescue volunteers have scoured through the densely wooded area surrounding the children's home, but only a small boot print was found. Police continue to refer to the case as a missing persons investigation.
They're covering it all.
There's our Miss Christie. Good to see you, Miss Christie. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. That goes for all of the Blue Crew. Thank you all for being here as always. God bless. Much love. And thank God for you all, because God knows I probably couldn't put my socks on in the morning without you. Just saying.
Everything they can. And you only do that in depth when there's a criminal investigation with major crime on scene. They're not there just because they're major crime. They're there to do their major crime work.
So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think this is a criminal investigation? Do you think RCMP knows stuff they're not telling us? Do you think this case will be solved? Do you think Lily and Jack will ever come home? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Okay.
Yes, 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 of course. We definitely come home in every aspect. It's very sad that they haven't yet. Let me see. There's nothing RCMP has put out. 6 days ago is the newest update. I don't know, guys. I don't know. The whole case is very unnerving. Truly very unnerving. Thank you guys again for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. Let's see here. One minute. Thank you, Michelle, for that. As always. Let's see here. Moving on. Guys, 1 second. I'm loading something up. I'll be right with ya. All right, there we go. My apologies, everyone.
That update. This morning, law enforcement is focusing its search for this man, Travis Decker. He is accused of killing his 3 young daughters.
Hang on a minute. It's the wrong link. That's why it took so long. Thank you, Christy, for that. Give me a second. Good Lord, I hate when this does this. Computers are not as perfect as everybody thinks they are. Where's it at? There we go. This is the other link. Sorry. I don't know how it does this. I clearly clicked on it, and it took me to another link. Just trying to give some updates in the Travis Decker situation. Here we go. Load up. There we go. Oh, you're good, bro. You're good, Willie. Don't worry about it, bro. Glad you're here. Good to see you. It's all good. Thank you for calling me back. I appreciate it very much. That's what I needed, so we're good.
Washington father accused of killing his 3 young daughters is still on the run after nearly 2 weeks.
Tactical teams are searching for Travis Decker in the backcountry of the Enchantments. That's near Leavenworth, not far from where the girls were found dead. Investigators say he's experienced in survival tactics and has lived in the woods for months at a time, Hikers and residents are asked to stay on guard. Wanted signs are posted in the area. A $20,000 reward is offered for information leading to his arrest. This Friday, a public memorial service will be held for Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker. It's expected to begin at 7 p.m. at Rocky Reach Park in Wenatchee. Organizers are asking those who want to attend to wear purple, pink, or green in honor of the girls. They are also asking that you bring your own candle.
This case is prompting people to ask for reform of the Amber Alert protocols and family court practices. Leaders came together on Friday in Seattle. They say this current system let this family down. Decker was supposed to return his daughters to their mother after a scheduled visit on May 30th. When he didn't bring them back, their mom called police. Police then issued an endangered missing persons alert instead of an Amber Alert. Washington State Patrol says the father had court-ordered custodial rights, and there was no indication the children were in imminent danger. That's why their Amber Alert request was denied. But court documents show in the past the Deckers fought over custody. Plus, the girl's mother said Travis Decker was homeless and had been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder.
And I think, maybe we have to have some sort of red flag in custody proceedings that let.
Yeah, Willie, as far as we know so far, he took the lives of all three of his daughters. Very sad. And he's been on the run ever since. And the guy's a survivalist, military training, all that stuff. And nobody can seem to find him. They've been close, very close. But they haven't done yet. It sucks, bro. It sucks. That's why I'm putting it out there so that we can get it. Everybody sees it, remembers that it's still going on. You know what I mean? Yeah, this dude's a mess. I'll tell you that much.
Lets the system know that these kids could be in danger.
Last session, Washington legislators came close to passing a law that would strengthen child safety protections in custody cases.
Welcome, Sarah.
Now they say they will try again.
All right, so that's where we're at with the Travis Decker situation. Sorry, ladies, there's no new sheriff sexy press conferences for you to watch today. My apologies. Let me see here. Hang on. I did want to put this out here out of Utah. This popped up overnight. Kind of a sad situation as well. Here we go.
At the final night of West Fest tonight, we had a carnival going on at the final night of West Fest tonight, and at about 9:20 p.m., officers who were working at West Fest spotted two groups of people who seemed to be.
Yeah, that's what we talked about, Teresa. I'll show you guys here shortly.
Be having some sort of a verbal altercation. The officers approached these two groups in order to kind of break this up and calm things down. And as they approached, they witnessed a male from one of the groups pull out a gun and start firing it toward the other group. One of the officers did return fire toward the suspect, did not hit the suspect, but they were able to very quickly take the suspect into custody. We do have a total of 5 people who were struck by gunshots. We have an 18-year-old male who is deceased at the scene. We have a 41-year-old female bystander who was hit by gunshots and was taken to the hospital and passed away. We have an 8-month-old infant who was also hit by gunfire and was taken to the hospital and passed away. The 41-year-old woman and the 8-month-old infant were not connected in any way to either of the two groups of that original skirmish that started. 2 additional teenagers were shot, both of them shot in their arms. It's unclear at this point if they were connected to that original altercation. One of them is a 17-year-old female. The other is a 15-year-old male. And again, they both suffered gunshot wounds to their arms. The only other injury in this incident was a pregnant woman who was hurt trying to climb a fence when the incident broke out. The suspect, as I mentioned, was immediately taken into custody. He is a 16-year-old male. He has been taken to the police station where he will be questioned by detectives. That has not happened yet, but that is what we're expecting to happen tonight. There were numerous people who witnessed this incident. Detectives right now are working through conducting interviews with those witnesses. They are also aware of a number of people who witnessed this incident but left in kind of the chaos of everything. If there are people out there who witnessed this incident and have some information, we ask that they do contact the West Valley City Police Department.
Is everybody involved? You have them in custody or detained? You're not looking for anybody else?
That's correct. The only suspect in this case is the 16-year-old male who was immediately taken into custody by officers, and he is detained at this point and will be questioned.
The people who were hit by gunfire, I think you said, were they connected in any way with each other, with the original two sides that had beef with each other?
So the 18-year-old who is deceased, we believe is connected and was part of the opposing group that the suspect was in. There were these two groups that had this verbal altercation, which appeared to end up resulting in one of the males, the 16-year-old male from one of the groups, firing at the other group and striking this 18-year-old male who's deceased. The 8-month-old infant was just an innocent bystander, not connected to any of the people in either of the groups, as was the 41-year-old female, just another person who happened to be in that area. The two teens that were struck in the arm, though, it is not clear yet if they were part of one of those groups or not.
And you said the 8-month-old and the 41-year-old woman are not connected.
They are not connected either. No, they are two entirely separate people.
So what's the mood over there? I mean, West Fest is fun. It's a carnival. People come here to get away from the problems of the world. And
Yeah, I think that is just the thing that is so difficult for this community. West Fest is something that is a celebration of our community, a celebration of all of the things that make our community great, a celebration of the diversity and the fun and the good, hardworking people of our community. And it's heartbreaking, I think, for all of us to see something like this happen. It's something that is, just a real treasure, something that we really enjoy in our community.
How many people do you think were at the festival when this happened?
I don't have exact numbers. We know that at some point during the weekend, the crowd approached numbers approximating 10,000 people. But that was on, I think, Friday and Saturday. And so on a Sunday, it might be a little bit different.
Did the officers return fire, or did they take him in custody by then?
We did have an officer who returned fire on the suspect who was firing his weapon. The officer did not strike the suspect, but the officers were able to very quickly take him into custody. They were already on scene. They actually witnessed the shooting occur. So they were right there, grabbed him right away and got him into custody. I'm sorry, say again?
Is this gang related, do we know?
So we don't know at this point. It's very early in the investigation, obviously. We haven't even had a chance to talk to the suspect yet. We do have some witnesses that we're interviewing at this time, and the suspect is in holding until we're able to speak with him. We don't know yet if this was gang related. We do know that we have two groups of people who are having some sort of a verbal altercation, but it will be a little bit of time before we can determine if it was connected to any kind of gang activity.
The law enforcement response, Roxanne, there are agencies from all across the valley here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, officers out there.
Yes, there are law enforcement officers from all over the valley who are here assisting us. We're very grateful for their assistance. When you have something like this happen and it's a very dynamic event, we don't know exactly what's going on. We don't know why shots are being fired. We have a large crowd that we need to help safely disperse. We're really grateful for our law enforcement partners who come and help us kind of work through some of those logistics.
Do you know whether the victims were shot by the perpetrator or whether any of the return gunfire from police were bystanders?
We do know that the victims were shot by the suspect.
How many shots do you think were fired in total?
I don't have that number. I'm sorry. I know that there were multiple, though. I know that the victims suffered multiple gunshot wounds.
And you said 5 victims?
Yes, 5 victims shot, and then we have that one injured woman who was not shot but was injured trying to get away.
Do you have any details about the types of weapons?
I don't know. From what I understand, it was potentially a handgun, but that's something that will bear out, of course, as we continue the investigation into this. I'm sorry, I don't actually have the number of how many actually witnessed the shooting. I know that there were multiple, but I don't know how many exactly.
Are weapons allowed in West Fest, or is there any security to get out of this?
It is open as far as if you're asking if there are metal detectors or things like that. Of course, anyone would be expected to abide by the laws surrounding weapons. That's not something that would be specific to West Fest. As far as security, we devote an extensive amount of resources to West Fest, in particular because it's a large crowd. It's any sort of a gathering of this nature where you have a lot of people, we're going to, of course, devote a significant amount of security resources to be there to ensure that things are safe. Okay, if that's everything, I don't expect any further updates tonight. There's nothing that I'll be able to update tonight. We do have the suspect in custody, and that would be, of course, the main concern there. The next bits of information that I expect we would be able to release would be the identity of the 18 and the 41-year-old victims. That is something, of course, it would be pending notification of next of kin, so we want to make sure all of that's done before I'm able to release that. As for the suspect, of course, we won't be releasing his name either because he is a juvenile. But the next bits of information that we would likely be able to release would be that information about the victims. And I expect that would probably be following notification, which would likely occur sometime tomorrow.
We're in the carnival.
If once police have cleared out, if you're looking at the carnival from the north facing toward the south, it's right in the first, I guess it would be like the first lane of where rides are.
There's that situation there, guys. Very sad. I'm sorry if anybody was triggered by that. My apologies. Very, very sad. There's just no words for that. So horrible, horrible. And a 16-year-old kid responsible for all that. That make that work, but process that. What is going on these days with these kids? It's insane. So yeah, I just wanted to let it be known that things like this are going on out here, guys. It's very sad and just disgusting to me. Next up, guys, everybody knows who Vance. Good Lord. Everybody knows who Vance Bolter is. I'm going to throw this update here with this. One of his friends speaks out. He's the one that shot the senator. Here we go.
In Minneapolis, covering that part of the story where the suspect, after leaving Brooklyn Park, ended up at a home where he rented a room in Minneapolis. And Mary spoke to his roommates and some of the neighbors there about what went on there. Mary, bring us up to speed.
A couple new pieces of information, and then I'll go back to kind of the full picture of what we've learned here this afternoon. We just saw 3 Minneapolis police squad cars pull back to the scene. They said that they were checking the perimeter again, so that's happening here. I did have a chance to sit down again with the roommate that I spoke with before. I learned a little bit more information. David Carlson has known Vance Bolter for 40 plus years. They met in the 4th grade, so that's how Vance got kind of connected to this location here in Minneapolis. He said that he didn't really hold a lot of really strong political beliefs, but he was staunchly anti-abortion. So that is a view that he really knew of. Okay, so here's how we kind of got here. Around 1:30, 2 o'clock, we did hear about a SWAT operation that was happening here at 4830 Fremont Avenue in the Camden neighborhood of North Minneapolis. When we arrived here, we saw 2 SWAT vehicles with battering rams and also using flashbangs to get inside this residence. We have since learned that Vance rented a room at this home. I'm told that there was like 5 different tenants, and what you're looking at here, this front window, that was actually his room. He had converted the front living room to his living quarters. He had his main family residence in Green Isle, Minnesota, but he came here for a couple couple of days throughout the month to do jobs here in Minneapolis. This morning at around 6 a.m., his roommates received a text from him, something to the effect of, I did something bad. I may be going away for a while, or I may be dead soon, and I don't want to implicate you. So they got that text message around 6 a.m. from him and had no idea what was going on, and then quickly learned what had happened to the lawmakers. Didn't know that there was a connection until all of this news started breaking. And of course,
That's a good
SWAT
point,
team
Alicia.
showed up. That surveillance image of Vance that you were seeing being published by law enforcement, that was taken from the security cameras here
Welcome,
in this
Aurora.
neighborhood. He was wearing a cowboy hat, and I am also told that he had access to several different vehicles. Some of them were like that security vehicle that Paul Bloom has been reporting on over in Brooklyn Park. But I am told, I also have new information about that security company. His roommate tells me that that was really idea. It wasn't a fully formed company at this point. It was something that he wanted to work on, but it wasn't necessarily in motion at this point. So around 6 a.m.
This is creepy, guys. I mean, this dude went as far as putting a mask on and trying to change his. I mean, this was crazy weird, okay? And he had a dossier. If they wouldn't have caught him where they did, it would have gotten really ugly really quick. If he'd have gotten out of that area, it was on. It's not a dossier, but whatever you call those, where he's got it all written down what he's going to do. I call it a dossier, but anyway, he had planned to go take out quite a few other people. Mikey ran this on his channel on the last 24 last night. We were watching this, and this is crazy. Like, this is like Mike and I were both talking about it. It seemed like something we watched a manifesto. Thank you, Teresa. God bless. Like a movie we saw. Okay, it's crazy, and he was putting it out there. And like I said, if they wouldn't have caught him in the area that they did at the time that they did, he was going to go out and hurt a whole lot more people, folks. He had many more weapons, ammunition, and he had a whole manifesto of what he was going to do. And yeah, it could have gotten very, very, this is horrible enough, okay? But it could have gotten so much worse. Thank God that they caught him when they did, for sure.
a.m. He came back to this location. Unclear if he went inside the house, but he was around the area. His roommates were still sleeping at that time, so they didn't have a chance to speak with him. But he went to the back. Apparently, he was holding a hammer. His roommate thinks that he wanted to make it seem like there was a car break-in, so he smashed a window of one of his vehicles. And then from there, they have no idea where he went. So that is why the SWAT operation was focused on this home here in North Minneapolis.
And Mary, I know we talked about this earlier, but I thought it was interesting what the roommate said was found in one of those vehicles. Can you talk us more about that?
Yeah, he said that he saw some receipts for armor. I asked him if there was a fascination with, military style weapons or violence or anything like that. He said, sure, they liked it just as much as any other guy, but there wasn't like an intense fascination with violence or weapons of any kind.
Mary, before we leave you, kind of tell us again, it sounds like police have returned to that location there in Minneapolis.
Yeah, let me just check out the street. I think they've left, but it was 3 vehicles kind of came quickly. They came back, they sort of checked the perimeter again, and then they left. So maybe just doing some crowd control. There is, a crowd of neighbors out here, understandably wondering what the heck is going on. And with a lot of questions. So they've been just checking out the scene. It appeared nothing to an emergency level.
And did the roommates seem real shaken by what had happened and what occurred?
Yeah, I mean, he was hysterically sobbing at points when we were speaking. Again, he has known Vance for 40 plus years.
Yeah,
he said that this is not the man that he knows.
Sorry, Mary, we're looking at some video from the scene there. To see, can you imagine that being outside your front door?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think kind of the combination of, having this happen to one of your longtime friends and then also having this happen to your home. I mean, the front of the home is completely destroyed.
Yeah.
A lot of glass, the front lawn, that's typical with SWAT operations. You see the big tire marks and things like that. But just totally destroyed, and the inside looks really, really messy as well.
A quick question for you, and again, I don't know if you know the answer. I mean, there's so much talk about this suspect, and everybody wants to, get into his mind. Like, what's his motive? What is he doing? Other than the fact his roommate knew him for so many years and said he was very, anti-abortion. Anything else? Did he give you any indication of just his general demeanor? Was he friendly? We understand maybe he's married. Anything else you can tell us about him?
Yes, he did say that he was married. He has 5 children. He has several pets as well. The roommate did indicate that Vance was going through some sort of financial stress right now. Again, I mentioned that security company was an idea that he had, but wasn't yet off the ground. It looks like he had taken some steps to make that a reality with the vehicles that we've seen. He perhaps had 2 of those vehicles that looked like police vehicles, but did indicate that he was going through some sort of stressful period. And they had a conversation last night where Vance pulled him aside and kind of told him what his friendship had meant to him over the years, and may have been saying his goodbyes to him.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a lot. And but this man who's known him for 40 years, surprised, shocked that this has what it's come to.
Yep, David Carlson is his name, and very shocked, shaken, crying through much of our conversation. Very, very shaken about what has happened, and had no idea that this was going to happen, and no indication or warning signs.
Yeah, just awful. All right, Mary McGuire, thank you for us there at 49th and Fremont in Minneapolis. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
What in the hell is going on in people's minds nowadays? Truly. I mean, good night, Angel. Good night, dear. Thank you for joining us. All right, guys, I got this other little piece to go on behind that real quick, just to give you guys that aren't familiar with this situation, the scenario.
Melissa Hortman and her husband, and then Senator Hoffman and his wife, all shot. The Hortmans were killed. The Hoffmans shot multiple times, went into surgery at this point, as far as we know, have survived. We don't know exactly what that looks like or what that means. If they're going to be okay in the long run, we're still waiting for information about his condition and his wife's condition. But at this point, I think a lot of lawmakers and people who knew.
This video was put out yesterday, just so everybody knows.
Representative Hoffman are really, grieving, and you can hear it in their voices when we've been speaking and interviewing them all morning long and all afternoon, just how sad they are. And this is, a person that reached across the aisle, represented the Democratic Party, however, reached across the aisle, very friendly. People love to work with her.
Right, a mom. She has 2 adult children. Obviously, she is a wife.
Welcome, Nellie B. Mark Schumann, good to see you, bro. Thank you for joining us, guys. And we will be getting to the Idaho stuff here shortly after this here.
And same with Senator Hoffman. He's a husband, and he has a daughter. They have an adult daughter as well. We've heard a lot about this, and again, just kind of piecing together what happened. The first crime scene, the first shooting, was at the Hoffman's home in Champlin, and then about 7 miles down the road in Brooklyn Park is the Hortman's home. So not close or not too far apart, different jurisdictions, different, areas, but close, relatively speaking.
Do we have that video of the Hoffman home? I think, to see the front door with the holes in the front door and the glass is rather startling, but, interesting given the circumstances. I don't know if we have that video.
We're working on that. As we work on that, we do have Corin. I believe Corin is standing by. He has been in Blaine all day, all morning. This has kind of been the command center for updates from officials. Corin, get us up to speed. What have you learned? We know the governor, of course, has been watching this, maybe even still there at that command center.
Yeah, absolutely. It is Kelly and Karen. He's just in the back here monitoring.
all the goings on here. I can tell you I did just get an update about Senator John Hoffman, and that was he is still alive and is expected to recover. A little bit of background on the scene there coming from a nephew is that, Senator Hoffman and his wife Yvette were at home, and so was their daughter Hope, their adult daughter Hope, who does have spina bifida. And as the gunman opened fire on them from this nephew, they were hit 6 and 5 times. But Yvette Hoffman literally diving in front of the gunman to make sure that Hope Hoffman did not get hit. And so literally probably saving her daughter's life. And the two Hoffmans are in the hospital, went through surgery. They are expected to survive, unlike the Hortmans. Mark and Melissa were both killed there. I've been giving you some personal reflections, I think, on Melissa Hortman. I've covered her for 3 sessions now, and we're looking at Senator Hoffman there. I can tell you a little bit more about Senator Hoffman. He is, from Champlin up there. He was the head of the Human Services Committee in the Senate. I worked with him on kind of a humorous story about a bill that he put up about trying to stop wake surfing on the Mississippi River over there between Champlin and Anoka and Coon Rapids. Kind of amusing thing because, wake surfing on a river is, didn't seem that serious, but he took it seriously when one of his constituents came to him and told him it was a problem that was eroding the shores along their homes. When it comes to Melissa Hortman, I mean, again, I've worked there for 3 sessions. I've probably had 100 conversations with her. She's just, like I said before, a consummate professional, but she's also a humorous person. She knew when to crack a joke, and she seemed very genuine when she did it. She was also one of the warmer people that you could meet at the legislature. She didn't just kind of talk with talking points inside of a box, and so she kind of, had this more human nature than a lot of politicians you talk to might. She could be hot, she could be cold, she could be warm, she could be, cunning, she could be clever, but she, really knew all the levers to push and pull. And it was a Republican former Representative Pat Garofalo who mentioned she was probably going to be the most significant speaker in the history of the legislature. That's like 94 sessions, and she was the Speaker of the House for 3 of them, and Speaker Emerita in the tied House this year. And someone I was planning to interview just in 2 days to kind of get her thoughts on how the entire session went. I talked to her as the special session ended in the House just before midnight on Monday, and she was her typical self. And I never thought that the photo that I took of her at the podium that day would be the last one I ever took, but it looks like it will be. And I know, I've spoken to a lot of people who were at the Humphrey Mondale dinner last night, and the same kind of sentiment is, they're taking pictures with her and her husband Mark, and at no point would they suspect that that was the last one that they would take.
Yeah, Corin, we can tell obviously this is hard. These are people. These are people that you interact with. Our political reporter, these people better than us, than most people. You have conversations with them. If you can, could you also talk a little bit about if people haven't been as locked in as maybe you and others who are kind of more politically inclined, walk us through how the last couple of days unfolded in this session. It was a different session, the regular session, but also this special session, and the critical role that Hortman played in avoiding a government shutdown.
Yeah, as we reached kind of the end of the regular session, everything kind of was coming about late. Like the February budget forecast came in March. And then as they reached, nearly the end of the regular session, they finally came up with global budget targets, which is essentially, all the leaders telling all the different bill writers, this is how much money you have to spend. And at that point, figure it out. They couldn't. And I think I related a story about Speaker Emerita Hortman talking to us at the end of the regular session when she was asked basically why couldn't they corral all these people and get all these bills done. That was one of those times where she was humorous and maybe too much. She said she can't waterboard all these people, and then realized maybe waterboarding wasn't the right thing to invoke, and said we can't give them all colonoscopies. But so then in the time frame between the 3 weeks between the regular session and then finally getting to the special session, it was always the leaders of the legislature meeting with Governor Walz and especially his budget team. So that's, Speaker Emerita Hortman and Speaker Damuth in the tied House. That was Majority Leader Aaron Murphy in the Senate, occasionally Minority Leader Mark Johnson. The four of them or the three of them always meeting with Governor Walz, trying to hammer out all the details. These individual working groups were working on each individual bill, and some of them were able to come to agreements and figure things out and get down the path to where they could have a full budget for the state of Minnesota. Some of them weren't even close. And so they go back there and try to hammer things out with the leaders. This is kind of comparable to what they had a few years back before I got here, but in 2019 they had what they called the tribunal. But that would be, the leaders at that time would just tell the people, hey, this is how you're going to do it. They tried to be a little more friendly this time and let all the individual representatives, write their own bills and give them guidance. But near the end, some of the leaders had to step in and figure out a few things. And included among the things that they had to figure out was how to get these, the biggest thing that the GOP wanted and that the governor and the DFL leaders had agreed to was this cut to MNCare for undocumented immigrants. And I remember the press conference where they announced the global budget deal just before the end of the regular session, and immediately knew that Speaker Emerita Hortman and Majority Leader Murphy were in trouble with their caucuses, because right outside the governor's cabinet room where we were at the press conference where they were announcing this deal, we heard members of the Posse Caucus, the people of color and indigenous folks within the Senate and the House, pounding on the door, trying to get in, chanting, one Minnesota, kind of mockingly using the governor's own slogan against him. And we knew that they were going to be in trouble with their caucus, and that would create a whole new way that they had to negotiate these deals, because clearly, the health deal where MNCare gets its funding was not going to get enough Democratic support, if any Democratic support, to pass. And so, over those 3 weeks between the regular session and the special session, they figured out a way where they could pull that out of the health bill. And, Speaker Emerita Hortman and Majority Leader Murphy agreed that they would cast the decisive votes to make sure that those cuts, getting undocumented adults off of MNCare, they would cast the deciding votes to do that. I saw both of them cry over that. I'd never seen Melissa Hortman cry until she discussed that vote Monday night, right as the House went out of session, the special session. It was the hardest thing she's ever done. Majority Leader Murphy said it was the hardest thing she had to do as well, but she made the agreement, and it was what she had to do to make sure that the state of Minnesota had a budget and there wasn't a government shutdown. And she kept true to her word on that, no matter how she hated that vote. And that was the kind of leader she was. She was, just pinpoint when it came to negotiations. And again, like I said, she knew how to pull all the levers in the government, but she also knew how to negotiate. And she was, at least in my experience, a woman of her word.
Okay, thank you, Corin. We know you're there with the governor who's monitoring the situation and the manhunt as it unfolds there at the command center. Thank you for that update and your experience, sharing your thoughts.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bob Jacobson.
All right. Sorry, guys. Moving on. So another very sad situation, but that's been handled. They have him handled, so on and so forth. So just still very sad, the whole thing all the way around. No, you're absolutely fine, Miss Nellie. You have the absolute right to say whatever you choose to say, however you want to say it. That's your right, and we respect that in here, as well as the other side of things. We respect as well. So everybody has their right to their own feelings, thoughts, and opinions on everything. So that's one thing we do, is respect that. So moving on. I guess we will. Where are we at now? Yeah, it's about right. Jump into the other stuff that we were looking at. Give me 1 minute here. One minute. Wait a minute. Where'd it go? Where it be? Where it is? Where it? Oh, hold on. Maybe. Hang on. Load up. Weather is weird. Very weird. Very weird. Hang on. Oh, something I want to put out there too, guys. This is something that's been happening more recently. And I want you guys to see this, to be careful with this. If you guys are within this tri-state area, I guess this is a real thing that's happening, and more people are being affected by this. Before I jump into anything else, it's important to see this because I have this around my area too, and it's seriously not a joke. And I want everybody out there to be safe and be careful, especially people that are outdoors a lot. This is scary as shit, folks. Here we go.
We have a warning for you tonight about a deadly plant that's in bloom all around the tri-state.
A Madeira man clearing weeds unknowingly came in contact with poison hemlock and almost died. Anchor Megan Mangello caught up with him about his recovery and how to spot this dangerous plant.
I don't know what's growing there, but it's not the honey, not the.
Now I'm gonna say this: if you're within the Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky region, and Pennsylvania too. Sorry, please be careful. This is real. I actually see it in my very back pasture. I live on a farm property, but way back here, and we stay the hell away from it. It is no joke. It will tear you up. So
Hemlock because everybody came and double and triple checked it, even a horticulturist.
Jim LeBlanc shows us the spot in his Madeira backyard where a weed nearly killed him. He was cutting honeysuckle with a chainsaw and didn't realize poison hemlock was growing there too.
So I was just trying to clear the backyard so we could see it. And
yeah, and it can kill your animals too. So watch them and be careful. My dogs, we don't let them go back there at all because of that. I have another one too that drops down. I'll have to find it, but it's got little bells on it. Looks like it's a flower. Okay, Teresa, we'll be jumping into that stuff that you wanted to talk about, Teresa, next. But this I just thought was really important this time of year for everybody to be able to see what this is.
Enjoy it. So, a normal everyday thing, not a big deal, you would think. And then, bam, your whole life changes.
Jim was in a medically induced coma. He spent 109 days in the hospital. 80 of those he was on a ventilator and had to use a feeding tube. As Jim was cutting the poison hemlock, he was unintentionally breathing the small particles of poison into his lungs.
You weren't getting oxygen, you were gasping for breath. And then when I was in the hospital, as my lungs failed, my heart went racing. And I sprung a tendon on my mitral valve.
That was in 2021. His wife, Jeannie, and their children and grandchildren were by his side. He had to learn to breathe, swallow, drink, talk, and walk again.
They told her, what, 5 times that I was going to die.
They told me he was either going to die. If he didn't die, he was going to need a lungs transplant. And if that didn't happen, then he was going to spend the rest of his life probably on oxygen and probably on a walker. And as you can see, none of those things have happened. He is, like I said, the doctors call him a walking miracle.
There's a warning out by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources saying all parts of poison hemlock are deadly. Use caution and avoid contact. It's been 4 years since Jim encountered that toxic weed. He says it changed his life.
So it's the little things that you take for granted that are just wonderful.
Go Papa's hand.
Like a walk in the sunshine with his son and grandson.
Trying to hide.
Megan Mongello, Local 12 News.
There is no medicine or antidote to cure someone from.
Take a look at it, folks, and it looks very, very, very non-dangerous, I guess you could say, but it is very, very bad. And like I said, I have it all around the back of my property. It freaks me out. I don't let the kids around it. I don't let the animals go back there. It's just real deal scary shit if that can do that to you. Especially somebody that's got maybe weaker immune system, weaker lungs, stuff like that. It's dangerous as hell. It's called poison hemlock. It's not a joke at all. It should be like they should kill it every which way they have it because it's dangerous as hell. So just showing you. And if you have issues with it, like it says, you can call the doctor immediately or the 24-hour poison center. This is Ohio's numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, 100%, Alicia. I guarantee you are, because I know I am. And when I'm out there on my zero turn cutting and stuff, I've come close to it a few times. It's like, nope, not that direction. We go the other direction. I've had to tell the kids too. So stay away from it. It's not a joke. Yeah, it can be. I just stay away from them all, Nelly, because it's very easy to mistake the two. And the other one, I can't think of it right now. It's some form of a snapdragon type thing, but it's highly dangerous. My neighbor, it was growing on the opposite side of my property to where my neighbor lives, and their cat was eating the bulbs off of it, and they found the cat dead the next day. So we don't touch that either. Oh, 100%, Alicia. That's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. You don't want him anywhere near it. So yeah, it's dangerous, and I just wanted everybody to see it's out there, especially within the areas that I said for a fact that I know that it grows, which is Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Kentucky. So just be careful. Yes, Nelly, that's it right there. Foxglove. My whole property is surrounded by this shit. And over here, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to look at, okay? But the neighbor's cat, for whatever reason, decided it was going to eat the little bulbs off of it, right? And yeah, absolutely, Elisa. And this is why I put these things like this out. I know it's ridiculous on a YouTube live stream show, but no, I love you guys, and I don't want to see anybody get harmed or hurt by any of this stuff. So just be careful. But that foxglove stuff is just as dangerous. And it's so beautiful, okay? But very deadly to cats, no lie. I mean, the cat, it freaked us out because we saw him out there wandering around. He was sniffing it. Beautiful cat, too. And just, it was one of them spring days last spring, and we're just watching him. He's sniffing the flowers and this and that, and must have been chewing on them. The very next morning, he was laying in their driveway, stiff as a board. I was like, oh my God. And then I seen there were like bells missing off of this thing, the way it dangles, And I said, no, he didn't. And so, yeah. So we kill that stuff when we see it, all the hemlock and all that. We spray it all down when we see it with our weed killer to avoid people. We stay as far back as we can, but it's crazy that you can't even be out in your own yard without having a biohazard suit on in some senses. You know what I mean? But yeah, pay attention if you guys got it. If you're not sure of it, look it up and go out and look. But that's what it looks like right there. It looks like just anything else you'd see in your weeds somewhere, So it's deathly dangerous. Yeah, very poisonous and dangerous. Both of them are. Foxglove is dangerous to humans too, just so you guys know. I'll pull it up and show you guys what it looks like here real fast, and then we'll get moving on. And I didn't even know the foxglove was an issue until that happened. How about that? So I went out because I like doing landscaping, and I could have endangered myself because I have respiratory issues. Hemlock is witch's brew, yeah, that's what they've called it. Like I said, the foxglove stuff is beautiful, folks. It really, truly is. Stay away from it. I have purple and pink and white all over my property. Around. Let me get to these here. See where it shows it to you. If I can. Thank God it blooms and dies fairly quickly, but still. All right, so this is what the foxglove plants look like. Like I said, they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's something that I would cut and like put in a vase and stick on a table because of the way it looks, but see it? It's dangerous for sure. Yeah. I've heard that story, feminines, right? That's what made Van Gogh go crazy. But there it is. That's one version of it. Let me see here. It's got there it is right there. The foxglove plant's toxic as it contains cardiac glycosides. Okay, that impact heart function. Very true. And that's why it can give you a heart attack, folks. Literally, which is what I think it did to the cat. You see these? This is what my property looks like right here. But they're very pretty when they bloom. You just got to be super careful. And there's many different colors of it. The pink ones and the purple are the ones that I see all the time. There's white, pink, purple. I think there's like a red version of it too. I've never seen that though. And when we moved into the house, it was wintertime. Never saw it growing. So the first spring that we had, yeah, my whole house bloomed and it was shit. You know what I mean? So that's foxglove, guys. That's what they look like. If you have it on your property, stay away from that too. Very much so. Just saying. So there you go. And again, it grows into the northeastern areas. Good. Good. Yeah, it is beautiful. Especially when you got multiple colors of it. It makes the yard look great. Just stay the hell away from it. That's all. Lots of cottage gardens. But yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Very pretty. Very dangerous. There's a few others out there too. These are the two that I know of the most. So there you go, guys. Just a little health minute for us. Definitely important. So there we go. All right. Yuccas. Yeah, we got a bunch of those too. They're hard to kill, Matt. We took ours out because they grow we have an island in the middle of our yard that's like got a bunch of different stuff in it. We killed them all, we thought. The yuccas, they came right back. All right. Let's see here. 1 minute, y'all. All right, I think that this book was put out 19 hours ago. Hopefully. A bit of a trailer, I do believe. See what happens here. Thank you, Mikey, for dropping this over here. Clifton Mayo, hello and hello. And let's check this out, and then I'll jump into something else too.
At night, the housemates went to different parties.
Ethan had gone to a fraternity formal with his twin sister as his date and met back up with Zaina at a fraternity party. Maddie and Kaylee were at a bar called the Corner Club.
Maddie and Kaylee met up with Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack. He and Kaylee had been dating for their entire tenure at the University of Idaho, and they had recently broken up.
After the girls were at the Corner Club, Kaylee and Maddie went to the grub truck, which is like a food truck. Then they got a ride home.
Xana and Ethan came home around the same time as Maddie and Kaylee.
When everyone was back home at the house on King Road, they all chatted for a bit, and then they went to their various bedrooms. Kaylee and Madison went up to the 3rd floor and they settled down together in Maddie's bedroom, while Kaylee's dog Murphy stayed in Kaylee's bedroom, which was across the hall. Xana and Ethan retired to Xana's room on the 2nd floor, while Dylan went to her room, which was down the hall from that. Meanwhile, Bethany went to sleep in her bedroom, and that was on the basement level.
One thing that we know is that Kaylee and Maddie called Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack, several times, but he never picked up. It just went straight to voicemail. The other thing that we do know is that Xana ordered food and it was delivered to the house around 4 a.m.
That was the last contact the housemates had with the outside world. And when the news broke the very next day, it shocked everyone who heard it.
The small town of Moscow, Idaho remains on edge tonight following the brutal killings of 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Madison Mogan, violently attacked inside a rental house near campus early Sunday morning.
From the moment that this story broke, I knew that this was going to be one of the biggest crime stories that I'd ever covered.
Authorities confirm evidence was found on multiple floors. Carnage so severe, photos appear to show blood seeping from the crime scene to the exterior foundation of the home.
Just the basic facts of this case were jaw-dropping. The fact that it was so random and so savage. The fact that there were 4 students murdered. The fact that 2 people survived, and yet no one had any idea who could have done this.
We are continuing to track breaking news out of Moscow, Idaho. It started with a call to the Moscow Police Department just before noon.
House right here is where police found 4 bodies.
People were found dead.
It says it was dropped 19 hours ago. Not 100% sure, guys. But Mike sent it over and said we should check it out. Just saying.
Very much a developing situation.
I remember heading to the airport, boarding a flight for Idaho, and in that moment, it felt like everyone knew that this was going to be a huge story.
Everything about this case was thought-provoking and eye-catching from word go. These young people's lives played out on social media. But I'll tell you, those images, the beauty of our victims, their vibrant smiles, may very well have been what did them in.
When I arrived on the ground in Moscow, I remember right away there was a lot of confusion. Can you tell us what you were looking for? The cops said the murders at King Road occurred sometime after 4 a.m. on the morning of November 13th, 2022. But the two surviving roommates, Dylan and Bethany, who may have been sleeping in their bedrooms at the time of the attack, they didn't call 911 until sometime around 12 noon the next day, which is 8 hours later.
The next morning, Dylan and Bethany find their housemates, and allegedly their first phone call was to their friends. So other students, the victim's peers are coming to the house and seeing what's going on before police even get there.
There's been some speculation as to how the call came in, but it's listed as an unresponsive individual in the house.
Finally, police arrived to find the most horrifying crime scene they've ever witnessed.
The affidavit describes their injuries in great detail. If you've ever seen injuries like that, there's no mistaking them. A knife can do horrific things to a human body.
My phone buzzes me, and it's a text from our city supervisor that says that there's been a murder in town that's involved 4 university students. We have a major situation on our hands, and it became a very major story quickly. And for a person who'd been hoping that his mayoral tenure would feature 4 years of quietude, that was blown right out of the water on the spot.
It's a very tragic and sad situation all around.
The 4 were stabbed with a knife, but no weapon has been located at this time.
This was the kind of thing that you only really think you're going to hear about in a murder novel. It didn't seem possible.
The unthinkable happened in this house behind me. 4 university students brutally murdered here. As soon as I got there, I could see that this was a crime that really, really frightened the students and the residents of the town. The killer was unknown at that point, and he was still on the loose.
I personally won't go out at night alone.
There's a lot of apartment buildings, houses, a lot of kids going to and from. And then you turn onto this road here, which is King Road. This is actually the road that the house is on. You look to the right here, this is the house where the murders happened.
Being on the ground and talking with folks every day, it was clear to me that the community was really feeling under siege from all of the outside attention.
All of this really is a nightmare for this town, a nightmare that they just cannot wake up from.
Almost every corner around the university campus, there would be camera crews setting up for a shot. And it wasn't just from local affiliates. It was from Seattle. It was from California. It was from all over.
The news of this had gone right around the world almost overnight.
All of this was so overwhelming for the families of the victims. And in the days after the murders, they gradually began to emerge to speak with the media about their lost loved ones.
Is there something you can tell us about Xana, the girl you knew?
Xana was tough. She was strong. She was funny. She just couldn't make you smile. I think you can see from her TikToks.
If you could describe your daughter in a few words, how would you describe Maddie?
Just bright, and funny, and just fun. She had such a bright future ahead of her.
Tell us who your Ethan really was.
Yeah, he was a great kid. In our family, personally, he was kind of the comedian.
You just live life.
You want everybody to be the beneficiary of Kaylee's life.
We try to raise our children not to be self-centered and go
And
like,
It says June 15th of 25 is when this was released as far as the date goes, guys.
sacrifice their lives and try to like help other people and find value in that. She was a very likable person and she didn't have a mean bone in her body.
As the families grieved, the scale of this quadruple homicide investigation, it grew larger and larger by the day.
You're looking at a crime scene with multiple victims, multiple autopsies. That scene has to be processed. The neighborhood has to be canvassed for the cameras. Cell towers have to be dumped.
June 15th of 2025, Christina. I'm sorry. That's when it's showing the release date on this. Down here, if you click on this, 19 hours ago, it says June 15th, 2025.
And that's just the initial stages of this investigation. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's one of the biggest true crime pages on Facebook with about 227,000 members. And Christine Cameron and Alina Smith are the administrators. Christine Cameron and Alina Smith are two people who, if you have been following this case, you cannot ignore. They started the Facebook group, Idaho Murders Case Discussion Group.
Christine and I attended the same high school, and our biggest common factor was we just had this passion for true crime.
Another page. Yeah, that's when I can tell if they're on, because look.
And so I was like, let's start some true crime pages on Facebook and just get our feet wet.
True crime used to be, you know, a crime happens and then there's an arrest made. Well, because of social media, we have the opportunity to kind of see in real time what is happening. So, you know, you have these armchair sleuths or detectives, so to speak, and they want to be a part of it.
Christine and I have not made any money. We had the option to turn it into a monetizing page, and we didn't because we don't want to benefit off of a crime.
With our other pages, it was just a pastime. Like we'd set up a page and I have my role and Alina has her role.
We had all these other pages, and I think 6,000 members was a good number. I mean, if we got 6,000, we were like, wow, this is great.
When the University of Idaho happened, it was almost overnight. It just went from a fun pastime to like a full-time job. At the end of the first day, we had almost 17,000 people on the page.
And then 2 weeks after that, we were already at 80,000. That's how quickly the numbers went. And then 2 weeks after that, we were already about 140. 2 weeks after that, we were 190. It was just wild.
Oh my God.
When Christine and Alina's Facebook page blew up, they were surprised as anyone. But I think they had absolutely no idea just how deeply involved they themselves would become in the hunt for the killer.
Moscow, Idaho, a town of only 26,000 people, is typically quiet, safe. As one business owner I spoke to put it, people don't even lock their car doors at night.
This is a small town police force with just a little over 30 people total working for it. and suddenly they're swept up in a quadruple homicide. So they were up against a lot, and immediately the internet went after this police force, saying that they were incompetent, they couldn't handle it on their own.
There was a lot of criticism of Moscow police as being something out of Mayberry RFD or something, with Barney Fife fumbling his way around.
For a small town like Moscow, they do not have the laboratory techniques. They do not have the forensics to be able to conduct a true crime scene investigation.
The Moscow police, they didn't hesitate to bring in outside, state, even federal resources. But one thing that struck me very early on in the case, Chief Fry and his department were also careful to maintain control of the investigation as the lead agency in charge.
What I want people to know is this is a Moscow Police Department investigation. We pick the investigators. They need assistance on a number of different levels. This house had a lot of transient visitors. It had a lot of students coming in and out. So if you're looking for someone who may have had some type of association with the victims, you now have opened it up to a wide cadre of people who potentially had contact with them.
Come to the door, guys. Send whoever lives here down to the door. We're not leaving.
Oh, look at that. When investigators started looking into the history of the King Road house, they found many incidents were reported.
Thank you. They would give out the code on the door to their friends, and their friends would have parties.
So I just looked for everyone that lives here, and they're not here right now.
No one's here that
No one's here
that
that
lives at all.
No one's here that lives.
So everyone here's trespassing?
Well, no one's here that's trespassing, but no.
It was such a party house that parties were going on, whether
Sorry, you guys.
the residents were even home.
Who does live here? What are their names? I am actually not sure.
When the crime scene is a place frequented by a large number of people, that complicates things because these are individuals you have to talk with. These are individuals that can contribute to DNA.
Unfortunately, when there were screams, cries for help, and the barking of a dog and other noises coming from the house on the night of the massacre, a lot of residents likely chalked it up to, well, they're just having another party.
In the days following the murder, as the attention of the world was really focused on Moscow, Idaho, they were basically saying nothing. Investigators were really, really tight-lipped.
We know you have questions, and so do we.
They told us the victims' names, they told us that it was a stabbing, and they told us there were no suspects at this time.
The police had locked the scene down, they'd locked the evidence down, they'd locked everything down.
At this time, I'm not going to expand upon that.
It's been a little more than 2 weeks now since the murders. Parts of the timeline are still missing, but we know according to police that Kaylee and Madison were here the night before the killings at a bar called the Corner Club in Moscow. Investigators say they were here between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. While investigators struggled to rein in false allegations, they were actually keeping concealed from the public some really crucial information about the night of the attack. There was an eyewitness account from one of the surviving roommates, and they were able to use that to reconstruct the movements of the killer that night.
The middle of the night, the suspect entered through the sliding glass doors on the main floor. And then there's a set of stairs which takes you up to the third floor.
I believe his intended target was one of the girls upstairs.
He had a K-bar knife. It's like one step away from a samurai sword. It's a crazy weapon.
He had a K-bar knife that's one step away from a samurai sword. Are you serious right now? You've got to be kidding me. That's one of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard in my life. No, Christina, this isn't the Prime story. This is a WB thing, I do believe. That was so dumb. That statement was the worst thing I've heard about a weapon thus far in this. One step away from a samurai. Yeah, it looks like it, guys.
He wanted a physical battle.
He entered the bedroom where Kaylee and Maddie were sleeping and attacked them with the knife. It only took a few moments.
Dylan, one of the roommates in the house, heard noises above her. Her information is vital. She provides an eyewitness account. She puts the killer in the home at the time of the killings.
Dylan opens her door once, sees nothing, texts her housemates to be quiet. She's trying to go to sleep.
Meanwhile, the fifth roommate, Bethany, was believed to be asleep in her bedroom down on the basement level.
At the same time, Zana and Ethan had just gotten the DoorDash, and I think as the killer's coming down, maybe like one of them like peeked out and saw him.
There was a struggle outside Xana's room. Ethan was mortally wounded.
Hold up. There was a struggle outside Xana's room. Really? That's new. Unreal. Unreal. Struggle outside of Xana's room. I don't really know how they get away with this stuff. I don't. This is such bullshit. No, she wasn't asleep. Good point, Ro.
Xana fought for her life, but they couldn't save each other.
The dog's barking. Dylan hears them yelling and some commotion. You know, she's yelling upstairs for the dog to stop barking.
Dylan got up and went to her door again. This time, when she looked out, she saw the dark figure of a man dressed all in black.
He's wearing a mask. All she can see are his eyes and his bushy eyebrows, which really stand out to her. And he just walks right past her without saying anything and walks out the back of the house. All of this takes place within about 15 minutes. This is still about 4:15 a.m. And she stays in her room and she doesn't call police for another 8 hours.
So this is one of the real mysteries of what happened that morning. Why did Dylan not notify police that something was wrong until around 12 noon on November 13th?
We don't know why that call came in at noon and not in the middle of the night.
What happened? Why the 8-hour delay?
One of the biggest unanswered questions about these murders was why did surviving roommate Dylan not call police for 8 hours after seeing the suspect in the house in the middle of the night?
The affidavit says after seeing this man, Dylan enters into a frozen shock phase.
She said, quote, that she was in a frozen shock phase. A frozen shock phase.
Why not call police? Could she have been in shock for that long?
When the world first learned that Dylan had actually laid eyes on the killer,
Amen, Lucy. Absolutely ridiculous.
I think there was a lot of confusion. I mean, the truth is, it's the middle of the night she opens her door and sees a strange man. She probably had no idea what had happened in the house, but it's frightening enough to see a strange man in your house in the middle of the night. And so it's understandable that a 19-year-old would be slightly shocked.
She was paralyzed with fear in that moment, and self-preservation becomes the #1 priority. And so it does not surprise me at all that she locked her door and was frozen with fear, and that there was such a delayed response.
But she didn't. She ran down to Bethany's room. So let's get that right there.
Another thing that police had in their possession from the beginning that the public knew nothing about turned out to be a critical piece of evidence.
The arriving first police officer on scene did see a knife sheath. That knife sheath had on it a Marine Corps logo.
The knife sheath was found with Kaylee and Maddie. As an investigator, you're securing that item to preserve whatever is on there, be it a fingerprint, a hair, DNA, blood, sweat, anything.
The crime lab then would have worked to try to extract DNA from that item. Now, assuming that this was just touch DNA and perhaps skin cells or maybe a little bit of sweat, this would have been a very small amount of DNA. But if they're successful at that extraction, then they will create what's called an STR profile.
A DNA profile was obtained from the sheath. Significant development in the case. Huge nuclear bomb in this investigation. Everything about this case was thought-provoking and eye-catching.
Okay, so I guess there's different versions of this, I guess. So ridiculous, and so many lies that have been put out here. I don't know how they're allowed to continuously do this. I guess there's different. I didn't know this until recently. This one came out 2 months back, April 10th, and there's a couple others too. I didn't know they were putting this out. The Idaho case documentary, Crime Nation, from the CW. So I had no idea about that. But that was bullshit. Most of it was bullshit. Ridiculous. Completely. So, hold on here. I'm going to play these things because I'm so tired of seeing nothing but propaganda and smear campaigns on Brian Koberger. I saw somebody sent this to me last night, you guys. Hang on. And I'm trying to get in touch with this guy because I am going to invite him on the show. 1 minute here. Sorry, you guys. Okay. Uno momento. Now, like I said, this was sent to me last night. It was sent to me last night after the show we did last night. And I thought it was quite interesting because, like I said, Brian doesn't have any support other than the people that support him here. Nobody's ever came out, put out a video or said anything in defense of him in any kind of a positive realm whatsoever. Well, we found somebody that did, and I did vet this person with Willie. That's what I was doing at the beginning of the show. Willie called me back on this, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm reaching out to this guy and see if he wants to join us here and have a whole conversation about this. The channel name is William127. He put out a positive bit of, a positive statement about Brian. He's done a couple of these now. I'll show you guys both of them. And I'm grateful to see that this is happening. They're not much different, but he's angry. He's mad. Okay. And I don't blame him. This guy knows Brian. He lives very close to Brian, and he claims in his videos that he's known Brian for a long ass time. And as you'll see what he says, it's quite interesting. And it's about damn time. Congrats there, Kane. So, LL, hello and welcome. So yeah, guys, he's mad, and he tells you who he's mad at too. Luckily, I'm not either, on the bad list. So, but it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So, some of these people, it's about time. I'm glad to see somebody stepping up and saying, hey, no, this is not who Brian is. These are people that have known him forever. So, I'll go back and start with the one he did 2 weeks ago first, and just run them in order for you. And I'm a forewarning, the dude's real, folks. That's what I respect. So his language is a little out there, just a point, but he's making a point, folks. So just ignore it. Most of you guys are, you get it. So here we go.
We're here to talk about IDAHO4. I'm here.
Just in case you guys can't hear it.
Here in Poconos, Pennsylvania, where I live. Everything I say on here is my opinion. It has nothing to do with any other content creators' opinions. I don't know if their opinions are their own. I have to say that just so I don't get in trouble. But there's a lot of gaslighters and a lot of killer channels out there that are making things up. And they don't even know the guy personally. That they're blaming all this on. Now, I do. And if you guys, if anyone out there, if these people knew this guy personally, Mr. Coburn or Brian, they would know there's no fucking way in hell that he did this. He's not physically or mentally capable of doing anything like this. That is total fucking bullshit. The kid doesn't have a violent bone in his body. He's very non-confrontational. Me, I'm confrontational. I'm an Aries, born April 14th. And it's obvious. But these guys out here like Gray Hughes, Tony Bruschi, fucking Drunk Parrot or whatever the fuck his name is. The one victim's father, I'm not going to say his name, but we all know who I'm talking about. These fucking morons are just pushing this fucking narrative. And I think that victim's father is almost being paid by the university to do this. I also think it's pretty funny how ever since the whole thing came out about the leak and Judge Hippler not being happy about it, he lawyered up right away. And we haven't heard any more bullshit from him since. He hasn't been out there on channels spouting his fucking bullshit. So I find that a little odd. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. And he went around and said this stuff like, if Brian does get off, how did he word it? He's going to be dealt with. Like, yeah, right, you short little fat fucker. You ain't dealing with nothing. You ain't going to do nothing. Especially with me here. You don't do nothing. There are channels out there that do have an open mind and try to bring factual information out. And they actually go through and they read the court documents. And they go down through and they watch the hearings that were publicized. And they kind of relay that out rather than just speculating or pushing a narrative like Dateline or Megyn Kelly, Skeletor. I made this little chart because if you notice, most of the dudes that are guilders, they all have kind of one thing in common, or two things really. They're short and they're fat. It's almost like they're upset and they want to put someone in a firing squad because they're mad about it. Well, you're probably saying, William, why are you body shaming? I'm not really. I'm just telling the truth. I'm spitting facts here. I'm overhearing factual information. If you can see this, and if I missed any channels, I do apologize, because there are some really good ones out there and people that I think are doing a good job with their content. And over here in the fat and unimportant section, we got the usual suspects over here. Same guys. These fuckers putting out content. Some of these channels, like Tony here, Tony's fat ass puts out a fucking new video like every 4 hours. He also puts them out on the Karen Reed thing, saying she's guilty nonstop. Like he kind of switches, alternates in between Karen Reed and Brian Koberger. That guy is a fucking moron, and I don't know, he probably has a couple followers. But people who embed in this and believe the guilters, they embed in the first information they hear. And it's usually people that don't have as much common sense as some of us. And it's very difficult to convince them of the truth, even if actual factual evidence, you just really can't convince them because their mind is made up like that. It's like a conflictive bias is what it is. But take the facts from someone that actually knows. And I was also a U.S. Marine for 4 years, and I was in Afghanistan. And I did on my tour in combat in 2005 there. I know a few things about K-bars and bayonets.
Thank you for your service, sir. God bless. That's not a joke, folks. To do that, yeah. This dude ain't playing.
And I know that I wouldn't be able to go into a place and unalive 4 adults like that and not have my DNA everywhere and not suffer a black eye or like gouges from them scratching, because they fought for their life. They just didn't lay there and say, oh, kill me. I'm just going to lay here and let you do it. Plus, with their DNA all over me, my car, my fucking apartment, it's impossible for that to happen. But like I said in the beginning, it's impossible that Brian Koberger did this. The kid is no killer, plain and simple. And people need to wake the fuck up and realize what's going on here. Stop following the fucking guilters. All they're doing is rotting your brain. Like me or hate me, I never said truth was going to be simple. But I'm just telling you what I know. Whether through experience or from actually knowing people personally. And it's about time someone came out and said this.
All right, so that was the first one he did. Hang on here. And I like the way he has no qualms with just being honest, folks. He doesn't hold a damn thing back. So he puts a new one out yesterday. Again, the channel name is William127. I tagged him. I'm trying to reach out to him here now as we speak soon, and hopefully he'll join us here. I would love to have a conversation with him and let him know he's supported in a lot of ways, because there's nobody else that has done this besides Willie standing up and saying, this is all bullshit. But yeah, and Willie knows, I believe Willie knows his sister. So, and this has all been vetted. This man does exist. He does live out there. He does know Brian. So, for anybody that's going to try to call that out, no. Willie does know who he is, yes. I called and vetted it this morning, or I emailed Willie this morning, and he called me back right as the show was starting, and he vetted him. So, yes, he has been vetted. This is real. We're gonna drop William's Bill, William, whatever he goes by. I'll find out eventually. But we're gonna drop his link, and I want everybody, if you will, to subscribe. Let him know that we sent you guys over here, that we're supporting him, because he's supporting the truth, in my opinion. Okay? Because nobody else is doing this, and I'm grateful to see somebody finally standing up and saying, hey, enough with the bullshit. Brian couldn't have done this, as you'll hear in this next video. Yes, Moonlit. I'm sorry, you guys. Did it come down? God bless America. The stupid computer. Hold on. Here we go.
Good afternoon. I'm just going to talk more about IDAHO4 and Brian, because there's a lot of people out there that talk that don't even know Brian personally, and I kind of feel like if you don't know him personally, then you really shouldn't be making all these opinions and assumptions about this guy if you've never met him.
There's no sound? What is going on today? Hang on. Having all sorts of technical issues today. One more time. Let's try it again. Hopefully that's better.
Good afternoon. I'm just going to talk more about IDAHO4 and Brian, because there's a lot of people out there that talk that don't even know Brian personally, and I kind of feel like if you don't know him personally, then you really shouldn't be making all these opinions and assumptions about this guy if you've never met him. That makes no sense to me. You know, people like Tony Bruschi, the fucking drunk parrot guy, Gray Hughes. Talk about three fucking fat douchebags. You know, they just, I don't know, they're mad at the world. They want to kill someone. They want to put this guy in front of the firing squad who they never met before in their life. They want to fucking kill this guy. Why? Because they're pissed because they can't get fucking laid? Or because they look the way they do? Fucking fat and out of shape? That's their own fucking fault. Brian is fucking harmless. I mean, anyone that fucking would ever meet him, you know, and they would try to be told that he did his fucking crime, they would just bust out laughing. That fucking kid, he doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He's not like me. I'm fucking mean. Then this whole thing out with the DoorDash driver now saying that she saw, you know, reports coming out that she saw Brian there. You know, let me tell you something. If you saw the body cam footage of that night, of that DoorDash driver, she was like a mess. She acted like she was high on meth. She was, as high as she was, is whenever you're at the stages of like paranoia and imagining things. And it's also a proven fact that law enforcement, they'll take people that are in trouble. I mean, they'll go right to the jail, and they'll cut deals with people to just make up shit to testify for them, to get out of jail or to get out of trouble. They do shit like that all the fucking time. Look at the Zach and Dylan Adams case over that Holly Bobo girl down there in Tennessee, what those TBI agents did. You know, they went and they got a guy who was in jail and got him to lie. That's all coming out now. They're getting a new trial. Those boys you need to let them the fuck out. And those TBI agents ought to do 10 years in fucking prison and see how it feels. But we can't let this shit keep happening, you know, to people. And it happens around the country all the time. These fucking counties, judges, prosecutors, law enforcement, a lot of times these prosecutors and judges, and if you have a paid public, or not a paid, but a public defender, they already know what's going to happen to you before you even go there. They've already talked about it. You know, it's a fucked up mess. Our whole justice system is. But I'll be damned if I'm going to stand by and let fucking Bill Thompson's fat ass, along with that fucking fat cow Ashley Jennings, you know, railroad fucking a friend of mine, the kid that I've known forever, who was fucking like the most harmless kid. I'll be damned if I'm going to let them railroad him into taking a fall for this shit. That's not going to happen. Not on my fucking watch. I stand up for my friends. I believe friendship is one of the most important things to me. Like, I'm an Aries. You know, I was born April 14th. I'm all about friendship, passion, love. That's like what drives me in life. But I stand up for my friends, and Brian's not around right now to stand up for himself to these fucking guilders like Tony Bursky or Drunk Fucking Parrot or Down Syndrome Talk Show, whatever you call him. So I'll fucking do it for him. You know, I have no issue with that. And if anyone would have a problem with it, 526 Furnace Road, Mill Hall, PA, 17751. It's not that hard to find. I don't call the fucking cops. I ain't no bitch. So that's the end.
Wow. So once again, it's interesting to see somebody finally taking, like, kind of standing up for Brian in a sense. Okay. We don't see that. We've never seen that, other than Willie making the statements that, you know, that he has made and calling bullshit, you know, and saying, no, this is not who Brian is. This is not how Brian is. The guy kind of reiterates the same things, in my opinion. I'd love to have a conversation with him. So, other than that, you guys, we got a few new documents today, which is strange because it's Monday, but that's okay. That's what I said. Oh shit, hold on. Sorry, guys. That's what I said, Jen. Welcome, by the way. It's about time. Agreed. Where'd you go? I just saw you. You were sitting there, Jennifer. What happened? Chappy Boss, hello and welcome. Yeah, it's a good point, sir. Yeah, guys, if you do subscribe to his channel, please be respectful. Just saying. Where did Jen Meineke go? She just had a statement she threw. Oh, there it is. Jennifer Meineke, about time. Right, that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. So, let me go through these with you guys too real quick, since we're in here talking a little Idaho. Looks like we got, let's see, this was dropped as of the 12th. Yes, I agree with what he called Jennings too. It was hilarious, Moonlit. Well, they can all say all they want about Brian and then disrespect him and put out all sorts of stuff about him. So fair game is fair game. This is how things work. So, motion to seal the state's motion to amend the witness list and supplement expert disclosure. Again, this is pursuant to Idaho Rule 32G1 74-124 for an order sealing the state's motion to amend the witness list and supplement expert disclosures. and attached exhibits pursuant to the court's October 8th of 24 order. The guilt phase witness list was to be filed under seal. His name comes back as William. 112. First name is William. I'll leave it to him to put the rest of his info out there. But his name is Will or William, Bill, whatever he goes by, I'm guessing, but his channel name is William127. So there is that. Yeah, do not leave negative comments on his page. If you're from this community, please do not do that, guys. We don't do that. All right, so that is, like I said, as of the 12th, this was dropped. I don't know why I just saw this today, but anyway, there's more. But wait, there's more. This one here is the, blow it back up for you. Motion to seal defendant's reply in support of motion for access. Comes now Brian Koberger by and through his attorney of record and hereby moves the court for an order to seal the defendant's reply in support of their motion for access. So this is the motion, which I'm sure will be approved per se. Everything's document sealing, guys. That's what all these are, but I want to show them to you real fast. All right. Next one was the motion to seal defendant's reply to the state's objection to defendant's offer of proof. Read the alternate perpetrator and evidence in support. And again, that's all it's doing. Moves for the court in order to seal the defendant's reply. And there it is. Here's the order sealing. Order sealing the defendant's reply in support of the motion for access. So that's been sealed. All right, give me 1 second. I got to text. All right, sorry, guys. Order sealing the defendant's reply to the state's objection to the defendant's offer of proof. So there's the order on it, on the motion. And last but not least, order sealing state's motion to amend witness list and supplement expert disclosures. So there's that. And then if you look here, motion to redact or seal newly filed records. Subject document motion to redact and seal newly filed record. And then the hearing is Wednesday. The hearing's coming up Wednesday, which I will be live streaming. Part of it's sealed. The other part of it is going to be live. So I'll be covering the part that's live. So we'll be here for that. And I'll put it out there the day before the times. I'll have it set up the day before. That way you guys will know. So there is that. Get rid of all these tabs here, you guys. All right. If you're not a mod for the page, YouTube, yeah, you have to be a moderator to post links in the chat, you guys. I'm sorry. That's how all channels work, from my understanding. No, of course not. I'm not saying you would, Christina. I just don't want to see, like Tandy had stated, somebody that comes in here, I guess, posted some kind of a negative comment. I don't want anybody doing that because I'm trying to help him to support you know, something different. So, not saying you would. I don't expect that you would. Just want to reiterate. That's all. Okay. And again, the channel, I posted the link in here a couple times. The channel is William127. If you guys want to go over and show support, please do. Let me see here. Show. Um, 1 minute. Yeah, we saw it, Jennifer. I don't know 100. I'm not 100% comfortable with that. Not that Bubbly didn't do a good job on it. I'm just not 100% that that's the same person. We looked at that this morning. It's very close, and it was definitely very convincing. I'll put it that way to a point. But we just, you know, you gotta want to be 100% sure because there are some differences, but there's a very good likeness. That is so true. I'm trying to, Miss Sherry. I'm just trying to reach out to him. Thank you so much, Debbie. God bless. That's awesome. Yes, Dan. Yes. It does. Absolutely, Miss Christina. Welcome, Tonka. Good to see you. Jessica Volk. Good to see you. It's been a minute. No, Jessica, I think he's doing that because of the way that they have approached the case, the negative things they've said. He's probably releasing some anger that he had by saying that. I'm not saying that's the best way to do it, okay? But each person does it their own way. That's his way, and I understand. They have said some really nasty things about Brian. Okay, we all know that. Very, very smearing statements, propaganda, and they don't know him, like he said. They don't know Brian Koberger. You don't know him to say the things you've said. So I think that's why he's put it out there the way he has. Just saying. Everybody looks at things in different ways. So I agree. I think that's why he's doing it. That's all. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying it's the way I do it or you do it. That's the way he does it. And I respect that. You know, that's his way to handle things. That's all. All right, guys, let me see what we have. I guess that's the answer to it right there. I don't know anything about that, but one minute here. Hang with me. Yes, he is the anti-turkey. That's a true statement. Just a moment. I think that's going to conclude that part of our stuff for today on the IDAHO4 stuff. Feel I can get some more research done on some other stuff that we're looking at. So, one minute. That being said, guys, you know I like to do this just to promote some positivity, some random acts of kindness from some good Samaritans out there to prove to the world that there is still good people, kindness, and good things that happen in our world. It's not all negative and horrible stuff. So let's check some of these out here real quick, and we will get out of here with a laugh before we leave. So here we go.
World Kindness Day. But we don't need a special occasion to spread and celebrate kindness. Right now, join WOW TV for random acts of kindness that will make you cry. Even while working through a massive storm, a driver in Siena didn't forget to show his kindness. Thanks to him, a father and son.
By the way, you guys, some of these are all intermixed in different videos, so you might see some of the same ones we've seen in the past.
Stuck in their car had a temporary shelter until rescue arrived.
Thank you, Nelly. God bless, hon.
The second bucket truck was approaching the fire. The rescue became quick and safe because they had trained beforehand. The story spread across various media outlets shortly after. This woman wasn't a doctor. She's simply listening to her late son's heartbeat inside the man who received it. That hug melted countless hearts. Showing gratitude to workers isn't as hard as we might think. Just feel it through his actions. For older viewers watching this video, please be extra careful when going out alone. Heroes don't always arrive in time like this. His split-second decision saved someone's life. But the most important lesson remains. Always be cautious around strong currents.
Wow.
Police officers are the ones who protect and assist people in every situation. Now it's time for the people of Belarus to show solidarity and heroic spirit to help them. An umbrella was all she needed at that moment. The way they shared made a cold, rainy day feel so much warmer.
Amen, Debbie. God
When
bless.
the
That's
earthquake
true.
struck, the little boy made sure the kittens weren't left behind. For many years, she had been by her paralyzed son's side, helping him walk with a homemade device. She's not a superhero. She's just a mom who loves her son deeply.
Don't fill out.
A video from You Wish TV went viral because of the driver's heartfelt gesture.
So close.
It's heartwarming to see the dog's owner also express their gratitude for it.
Wow, that was so close. No worries.
Only a few seconds were left before the train passed, and he knew exactly what he needed to do. Approaching a frightened deer is not easy, especially in this situation. It takes love for animals and persistence, just like this man, to make it happen. The kind-hearted children of today are the hope for a wonderful future generation.
That's the whole point, Yvonne. That's why I do it.
What could an empty bottle do for the little girl? Turns out it meant a lot. And the simple joy of this poor child touched the hearts of those who witnessed it. The kind father successfully raised a compassionate child. Let's hope this is something we'll see more of this winter.
Thank you, Kristen.
The bear cub seemed to have given up after failing to free itself multiple times. Its only hope now lies in humans.
Ah, geez, poor guy. That's crazy.
Here you go. You're okay. You're okay. You all right, baby?
Well, you've seen this one like 4 times, but that's okay.
The most precious gifts are those adorable, everyday moments like this.
That is absolutely the facts and the truth, Yvonne. And my point behind this, she says it's so easy to fall into depression with these horrible cases and clips that help us to, the clips help us to not see, Jesus, hold on 1 minute. Let me try this from the beginning. It is so easy to fall into depression with this horrible case and other cases, of course. And the clips, these clips, help us to see that not all are like the mean talking guilters and the horrible things that we see on a daily basis. This is why I show these to you guys as many. I try to do it every day if I can, because life itself, before the cases, guys, is very hard on a daily basis. Okay. Then the cases that we deal with, the first thing we looked at, first or second thing we looked at today, the loss of an 8-month-old baby. That's horrible. And that stays here. It stays in your head. It doesn't go away, and it stays in your heart. And we all question humanity on a daily basis now because we see what goes on in our world, okay? That's why. That's why I show you these things, because I want everyone to believe that people are still good. Very heartbreaking sometimes.
Excuse me?
Once a week, this 4-year-old boy becomes a superhero, delivering food to as many homeless people as he can. Compassion will grow with him every day. I'm sure of it.
Would you like a sandwich? You're welcome. Don't forget to show love. Don't forget to show love.
Thank you.
This teacher decided to donate a kidney to a parent. And this is the moment they met for the first time after the surgery. Words can't fully capture the gratitude he feels for his life-saving hero.
That's why I showed the comedy stuff too, Yvonne.
The power of encouragement can work miracles, even for a paralyzed boy.
Thank you, Christy, for everything you do, and I hope to see you soon, dear.
It can also turn a stranger's day around. The growing flames inside the house didn't faze the three young men. They worked in perfect sync and extinguished the fire in under a minute. Bowing is how Japanese children show respect and gratitude to others. Cancer forced the woman to give up her long hair. Though they were strangers, the empathetic barber decided to encourage and support her. Waiting to hand out candy and soda to the firefighters said more than words ever could about the boys' gratitude for them.
Soda? You want soda? Soda?
One of the activities bringing positive change to the oceans was carried out by a group of young people in Vietnam. Hopefully, more and more people will embrace environmental protection. Akua had been living with cataracts for 6 years, meaning she had never seen her youngest child. A miracle happened when she underwent vision-restoring surgery thanks to a non-profit organization.
Amazing. Okay, and like I said, you guys, we are all put here together to support each other, okay, and to show love to each other. And I see nothing but everybody showing as much negativity as they possibly can. Not for everyone, but so many people that just do everything in their power to hurt each other and to hurt people. It just makes no sense to me. And that's not what humanity is about to me. So this gives me faith. And that's why I do this every single day and try to give this to you guys every day as well, to restore everybody's thoughts and feelings and inhumanity. This is why I say to love yourselves and love each other every single day, and not to forget who you are and not to change who you are, because you guys are beautiful people, period. That's why I say that every single day. That's why I do it. So that being said, if this got to anybody's heartstrings, I'm sorry. That doesn't mean to do that, but just a little humanity there, folks, a little positivity. Well, hello, Miss Bill. Wonderful to see you as always, dear. You guys, let's see what we got here. Always happy to see Bill. Bill can always put a smile on my face, and it doesn't take very much to do it. One moment. See if we can get out of here with a little bit of a laugh. There you go. We've always tried to do good things for people. My kids like doing it too. Where is that one video? Oh, yeah. Hold on. Absolutely, Yvonne. Thank you for wanting to see it. And thank you for thanking. All right, let's see if we got some more of these. These are usually pretty funny. See what we got here. All right. Amen to that, Dan.
Oh God.
Makes the big palm tree. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
Don't forget, if you ain't chewing it, you ain't eating it.
Just don't even go touch, right?
Your feet ain't moving, you ain't walking.
What is that? Phoebe, come here. What is that? Oh my God, why?
Don't forget, guys, if you ain't talking, your mouth ain't moving.
Zoom, 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 zoom. I'm zooming in my room. My zoom is up forever. My zoom is all together. Zoom, zoom.
What are you doing?
I love how he does it. He got it.
Oh.
Lose not my lightsaber.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, you're over serving.
What?
Oh, no, no, no.
I owed him up.
Llama, 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 llama.
Look at her. She's on the...
Sit.
Good boy.
What are you doing? No, no. God. Hello. 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 Don't bite his tail.
All right, folks, that'll do it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I appreciate you all so very much. I hope you're smiling now. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I may or may not see you later. I don't know. It depends on what my day provides for me. Don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, and don't change a thing. You guys are beautiful people, and I will see you very soon. Thank you again, mods. You guys are rock and roll. Bye-bye, everybody.
Life's a journey, let's make every moment shine. Together we share, our hearts so intertwined. Each time you tune in, we're dancing in sync. With every story told, just let your soul think. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set to thrive. With smiles all around, let's seize the day. In this podcast family, worries drift away. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. So gather round friends, it's time to reflect. In this joyful moment, what's next to connect? Let's cherish the laughter, the joy that we spread. Together we'll thrive until our hearts are fed. See you next time with stories anew. Can't wait to share more with all of you.